When gamers talk about their favorite retro beat-em-ups of all time and don't even mention River City Ransom on the old NES, I just assume they haven't played this old classic. So here I am to talk about this great beat-em-up, which is also one of the best multiplayer games on the NES console. What about River City Ransom makes it fun and interesting to play through? Well, let's talk about it for a few minutes. Once you're thrown into this game as Alex, you're given a fairly standard storyline. But in a way, it's a refreshing storyline because you're playing as a tough high school aged guy who has to rescue a girl from a rival gang at another school. It's the type of traditional storyline that developers are reluctant to do today. It's also not deep, but it's enough to get the game going. Then the game starts. Right off the bat, the music is awesome. I realize it's the same exact music throughout the game, but it's still awesome. I never get tired of listening to the main theme. In fact, I'd say the main theme in River City Ransom is one of the best I've heard in any game. As for the fighting, it feels satisfying. The developers of this game put extra effort into keeping even the most regular fights interesting. When you punch or kick a bad guy, his eyes bug out and he might say something funny like barf once he is pummeled to the ground. Adding dialogue to this game at the bottom gives character to even the most random opponents. Players can also use different weapons such as a rock, chain, tire, or box to use against other enemies. Either those weapons could be used until knocked away, or the player can choose to throw it as a projectile from a distance before coming in for the punches and kicks. At the end of some areas, players might beat a boss, and the funny part is that once the boss starts talking, you can actually attack him preemptively to get a one-up on him. It's cheap, but hey, whatever it takes to reach the other high school and rescue the girl from the bad guys. If you stick to the normal punches and kicks, you still might be able to beat this game, especially if you play with a friend to get help in the harder parts towards the end. But to get far without any major problems, players will need to save up money and buy one or two of the special techniques in one of the shops. Once players get the two techniques that improve the speed of the punches and kicks, then Alex has the ability to fight on par with difficult enemies. It might even make the game too easy, depending on the overall player skill level. Speaking of the shopping centers in this game, players can also buy food or drinks at one of the various restaurants. The food and drinks can replenish the main health bar, but depending on what is bought, they can also help improve various stats in the Alex or Ryan profile. Yes, this game has some light RPG elements to it, where the player can basically level up with the food, drinks, and extra techniques bought in these various stores and restaurants at the mall. Basically, these shopping centers, or outdoor malls, act as res points in this game where the player can also refresh Alex or Ryan if playing with another player. If the player dies, he also respawns in the last mall encountered and he can prepare properly before trying again. The RPG elements in River City Ransom make it feel different than the standard beat 'em up. I will point out the weird place to level up. It's the health club, and I call it strange because you can see Alex's bare ass after leveling up in the sauna. I wonder if Nintendo missed that part when reviewing the game for approval. I guess it's not a big deal though. Funny, if anything. What else is funny in this game? When you attack a bad guy and he falls in a bottomless pit, it makes me laugh for some reason. Maybe it's just the whole ridiculousness of the situation. I mean, if Alex really punched someone into a pit to his gruesome death, he would probably be sent to jail. Yet rival gang members just fall to their death casually, and both Alex and Ryan face no repercussions. If I have anything negative to say about this game, it's that jumping onto other platforms can seem awkward at times. You need to press the A and B buttons to jump, and sometimes you have to think about what spot to jump from in order to reach the platform on the right or left. There will be times when it feels frustrating, and the player will get stuck for a minute or two. I didn't have anyone to play with this time, but in the past when I was a college student, I remember beating this game on the Wii Virtual Console with a friend. Just be careful, because I believe you can both hit each other. With that said, the chaos with having another player makes it more fun. I ended up beating this game before recording the review, but I won't spoil everything. If you feel like playing a great beat 'em up and subscribe to Switch Online, then definitely try out River City Ransom on the NES app, which comes with the online service. I give it a 9 out of 10.